Okay, welcome everyone to our international cosplay Q&A with our international cosplay guests. We're going to do this panel in English. Wir machen das auf Englisch. Ihr könnt aber gerne, wenn ihr nachher Fragen habt und ihr wollt die auf Deutsch stellen, könnt ihr sie auch auf Deutsch stellen. Wir lassen ein Mikro rumgehen und wenn ihr die Fragen auf Deutsch stellt, dann übersetze ich sie einfach für unsere Gäste. Okay. Welcome everyone. I would just like, before we take questions from the audience, I would like everyone to just tell us a little about yourselves, who you are, where you're from, and maybe how you like it in Germany, if this is your first time at a German convention. Okay, should we start with Dudush from Hungary?
Yes. No?
Yes.
Yes? So, hello everybody, I am Dudush from Hungary. It's very nice to meet you. It's actually my second time in Germany. I was in Düsseldorf last year for Dokomi. I've been cosplaying since 2006, so it's like a bit more than 10 years. And as you can see, I basically cosplay guys most of the time. I am a girl, just to clear everything. So it's really nice in Germany. I really like the location. It's very beautiful, so you are really lucky to have this kind of environment. Thank you very much.
Next we have Asta Rohime from Russia.
Hello everybody, I'm Asta Rohime from Russia. I've been cosplaying almost 10 years and I have a lot of fun. In these 10 years I made over 150 costumes. I like to sew and this is my passion. I love really much Germany and especially the city. It's really beautiful. We already made a little side. No.
Just hold it close to your mouth.
A little sightseeing, and this place is really awesome because it's really beautiful and you can do a lot of shooting out there. Like you can visit a cosplay, a convent, and already have a photo shoot here, so it's pretty cool. Thank you for having me here.
Hello everyone, I'm Baozi. I'm Hana. We come from China and sorry for my bad English, but I will try my best to speak more today. And it's our first time to German and not very sure the German cosplay culture is true. And due to we are a little bit nervous before the event due to don't know what famous anime here or do a lot of fans here. We are a little bit worried, but when we come to yesterday, a lot of fans come to the sections and we wow and feel very, very happy. A lot of people here love cosplay, love anime, love us, and hope everyone enjoy the event here. Thank you.
Hallo, ich bin Shiroku aus Deutschland. But because it's the international panel, I will now switch to English. This will be the last German words you will hear from me in the next 1.5 hours. So I'm the German potato here between the people, and I was with WCS representative for Germany last year. And I'm really honored to be here. And yeah, what's about myself is I'm cosplaying since 10 years, so I'm really old. And I'm also working as a singer, so a lot of people might know me from the big stage. And yeah, actually it's a really funny question to ask me about Germany, because I love you. But I will tell about the far, far away country Bavaria. I was here and it was like, oh my god, this is so German. This is not Germany anymore. Oh my goodness. But I really enjoy it here, and there's a lot of meat dishes. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm Chico. I'm the second part of Team Cupcat and also represented for WCS Finals last year. I'm cosplaying since 2004 and yeah, sitting here beside also amazing people. For Animuc, I'm working in the event area and in charge of all the cosplay stuff. So yeah, that's me.
Okay, so maybe because most of you have been here for the first time, maybe you could tell us a little about like comparing cosplay in your country to cosplay in Germany as far as you know it. Maybe you could tell us a little about that, because I know that Shiro and Chico are also going to have a panel on cosplay in Japan later. So we were very curious about that and about cosplay in other cultures. So maybe you could just tell us a little about cosplay in Hungary, in Russia, and in China.
Is it working? Oh yes. Oh yeah. So basically in Hungary we have two bigger conventions. One is a gamer convention and the other is like everything else. Yeah, basically. So cosplay in Hungary is very good, I must say. We have a lot of good cosplayers, and when you come to a convention in Hungary, you see a lot of people in cosplay around everywhere. So they are not necessarily competitors, but they are just having fun in cosplay. So you basically see very few people in ordinary clothes. So they really like cosplay. We basically have two competitions for the weekends of the convention. We separated the craftsmanship and the performance category. So unfortunately that resulted in having really good crafters and really good performers, but we rarely have a mixture of the two. So we have good crafters who can't perform, and we have good performers who can't craft. I mean, there are a few who are very good at both, but yeah, we are working on bringing the two categories closer. Hopefully we can achieve that. Hungary is right now regularly only at Euro Cosplay when it comes to international competitions, so we don't have the ECG or the WCS or any kind of other international cosplay competitions, only Euro Cosplay, where I was, for example, I was one of the representatives in 2015. So basically, that is like the major things of cosplay in Hungary.
Maybe for those who don't know Euro Cosplay, it's the finals are held in London at MCM Comic Con in October, and Germany also sends a team every year since 2012, I think. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But
Ulish has been there.
We've been there from the beginning. Fortunately, I don't know about Germany. I know Germany is like participating in all of the international cosplay competitions. No, we are not jelly. Not jelly at all. No. So, yeah, hopefully, I think we are trying to get into ECG, but it's not possible for now. But maybe soon.
Okay. I didn't know what to say because I think like German cosplay and Russian cosplay are quite, close because we are all Europeans and we are not like, really different like European community. We are really different, for example, from Asian community and American community, for example. So Germany and Russia, I think we are quite close. But what to say about Russian community? I think we are known for big costumes, like insanely big costumes with a lot of layers, a lot of beads, a lot of everything. Like when you hear the rumor that some cosplayer like stuck in doors, you can say it's Russian. Not because he is fat, because he wear like the whole fabric store on himself. Yeah, now it's becoming to change really much because the whole world right now more into gaming cosplay and movie cosplay. It personally breaks my heart because I like manga, I like anime, and I like everything. I like when community is really different. But right now it's starting to be really different because we got a lot of conventions that are expo format with a lot of I don't know how to say it, with a lot of booths.
More like a trade fair.
Yeah, but not with. Normally we have like conventions that are held like the program the whole day. Like it's dancing, singing, cosplay performances with a big group. And if you are a judge in Russia, believe me, it's a huge pain. Because I do it a lot of times, and you need to sit there like from the morning till the evening because you are judging like the dance battle, the karaoke. Even if you don't care about singing, if you are don't really spot the difference between singing or dancing or anything, you need to sit there and judge like everything. So in the morning you're like, yeah, I'm on the convention, and in the end, yeah, I'm on the convention. So yeah. And right now we had a lot of these conventions around Russia, but now they are starting to die. A lot of them stopped their history like in this year because we got a big expo convention like Comic-Con. We got the Russia Comic-Con like 2 years ago, and the people prefer to go there in some game, armor, or like to be the 101 Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad or something, and people doesn't care about the anime and manga anymore. It's really sad because right now we got a lot of new big good titles. Only Euro on Ice right now. I think like join community together again because last this small convention in Russia was really crowded because there were like 200 Euro Plisetsky's, obviously, and they were running around the convention like, yeah, where's the Victor, yeah. It was like 200 of Euro Plisetsky and like 20 Victors, so Victors were really popular, right? So it was like a kitty battle, So yeah, this is about Russian. I don't know if you want something to know something certain, you can ask me and I will reply with all my passion. Thank you.
Okay, Hannah asked me to speak Chinese due to he think my English is too bad. But I try English first. Then if I cannot, I ask translator help me. Firstly, I think this event, the venue is the best, and we never visit better than this one before. It look like a castle. Sorry. 城堡 castle. When we come yesterday, I said, wow, it can shooting here. And a lot of cosplayer outside, shooting, eating, playing together. I think it's really nice, and and about Chinese cosplay culture. Due to China have a lot of people, and events also have a lot of people. Maybe a small event may over 10,000 people one day. So really crowd, and Chinese cosplay competition is also like that. Maybe 10 people to 20 people at the stage to performance. It's a little bit different with overseas. Due to like here, it's like the WCS 2 people maximum at the stage performance. So it's the difference between the two culture, I think. But all the people like cosplay, like anime is the same things. So it's a very good Chinese time. 就说能一直到各个国家体验这种不同的文化，是一个非常对于我们两个来说是一个非常不错的经验。然后就这样。
Well, says that it's a very great experience for these two to experience the different cultures of cosplays in different countries. And he also said that he finds awesome that everyone here, or the most of the European cosplayers, can make this equipment or these weapons themselves, and yes, and very practical, and everyone shows more passion for cosplays, even if they have cosplay for a couple of years and for a very long time, and it's very awesome, he said. Yes.
Do you have a lot of people in China who buy their costumes?
Yes, due to China have Taobao. Yes, in China, cosplay already have a very big industry. So it's Chinese style.
Ja, Taobao, für die es nicht kennen, ist eine, it's a Chinese, like a Chinese eBay, but much bigger. So you can buy everything there. But I think some people from Germany also know Taobao because they've also
Everybody knows.
ordered it. Do we have a first question from the audience, maybe? Do we have a microphone? Yep. Okay. Anyone got a question? Just, raise your hands. So Tsuki can see you. Oh, yeah, over there.
So this question goes to all the international guests. You talked about that you have conventions in your countries. So what about smaller events? Like we've got here the big community Animuc, which holds little meetups once a month in the bigger cities. Do you have something similar, or
like a local gathering or local
events
meetup?
which just goes about one day and yeah.
So it's about smaller meetups and conventions. Do we have that? Or what is it like?
Yeah, like local get-togethers, or club meetings.
Yeah, we do have actually in Hungary. Basically, the bigger conventions are located in the capital Budapest, but there are also like smaller conventions. I would say they are conventions also, just much smaller, and they are like in the bigger cities outside of Budapest. And they are like a carbon copy of the big one, just in small version. So it's basically the same. They have cosplay competitions, like AMV competitions, karaoke, or DDR, and also drawing competitions. So basically, it's like a smaller convention every time. And also they have meetups when a group of people goes out to picnic, to have picnic somewhere. For example, Budapest has an island in the middle of the Danube, and it's really good for having picnics. So basically they just go outside in cosplay, everyone stares at them strangely, but it's okay, it's like a small meetup, right? So we do have that.
We used to have meetups, I guess, 8 years or something when I was a child and all this stuff. Yeah. So we had anime clubs and all this stuff, but now we don't have it because people are too internet addicted. So why you should go out if you can, just Skype with your friend or just chatting with your friend? But still, we have cosplay parties. It's personally, I think it's a really nice idea because you can, if you don't want to feel if you don't want to stress out about a convention, about a competition, about this convention feeling, you can just join to the party with some simple costume and yay, party. So, and also we have a really, really huge and really active Gothic Lolita community, and they also have their own events, every weekend they go somewhere, to the movies, to the restaurants, to normally they are just eating in the Lolita, maybe it's fun, I don't know. But yeah, they are really active, and now we have geek parties for people who are not only cosplayers, but just for people who enjoy all the geek community, who just want to party with friends, to dance in a cosplay or without cosplay, but in a clothes, I promise. So, yeah, that's it, I guess.
I have to add something to the things. In Hungary, there are a lot of cosplay clubs. We have Star Wars cosplay club, Star Trek cosplay club, Lord of the Rings cosplay club, and also Game of Thrones. I think, yeah. So these are basically from movies. We do have a Lolita community in Hungary too, but it's not really big. Basically, we have the most cosplay clubs from movies. Because in Hungary, what Astor has said, it's true to Hungary too, because we are becoming very game cosplay oriented. But there are a lot of movie cosplayers too. Anime and manga cosplays are becoming extinct almost in Hungary. So, I'm not from an anime too either, so I'm sorry.
Okay. In China have too many events. So I think last year have more than 1,800. So maybe one big city will have in the public holiday will have a lot of events. We meet in one row, have 3 events together. So it's really common have big event and small event together. So such like the Lolita Tea Party and some cosplay tea party is also very famous in China. They just sell their small books and some products and maybe and just share the experience about the anime, and sometimes only watch the anime and the movies. So it's quite common in China, and that's all.
But are there a lot of cosplayers at those local events, or?
Yes, a lot, but they also not only just do the games or the Japanese anime, and some Chinese game, Chinese culture, Chinese anime also.
So you have a lot of cosplay from Chinese video games or Chinese series?
Yes, we also how to say it? Due to we don't know if the fans here knows that anime, so we only bring the Japanese cosplay here. So.
And the Chinese games are really beautiful.
Yes, and we've actually had at the German Cosplay Championship, we had one team who was originally from China and they cosplayed from a Chinese game. I think it was like Dynasty Warriors, yeah. So they did a very, very like traditional Chinese culture skit that was really beautiful. Okay, maybe you could tell us a little about the countries you have been to. Do you know anything about like do they have like small conventions or how is it different from the German cosplay scene?
Do you want to know something about America, Malaysia, Singapore, or Japan? Japan? For Japan is later in our panel. You need to go there. Sorry. Then I will try with maybe America. Because I think America is very interesting. The conventions in America are really, really, really huge. If anyone from you knows the Japan Expo, it's small compared to that. And they have really, really big halls. And if you are starting a meeting, it's mostly they have small fan meetings at the bigger events. So there's some kind of like Animuc, like here, and then they have smaller events like Love, Meet Up, or Meet Up like this. But these meets up are actually organized by the convention. So it's not that a fan says, okay, I want to make it. It also happens, but mostly they contact the organizer, and the organizer says, okay, here's space for you, you can do this fan meeting here. They also have a very active Lolita scene there, who are making tea parties and meeting up for going to shopping, showing their beautiful dresses. But there are also a lot of comic meetups. So basically, it's more comic based, and there are also a lot of clubs where also cosplayers are meeting up and making showcases at bigger conventions. This is really typical. So for example, there are 5 Love Live girls who say, okay, we want to make a booth with our club and are looking for new members who are also going to visit our club. This is very, very, very common in America. Yeah.
Actually, historically, I think the anime community in the US originated a lot from college clubs, and high school clubs. So because in the US you usually stay at school like all day, and you have all these clubs in your free time. And in college they also have these clubs. Like I think it's kind of similar to what they have in Japan, in Japanese anime. And they did a lot for the anime fandom, like fan community, because they were among the first to organize anime conventions and organize all these screenings when they still had VHS videotapes, like the old ones probably know these, like the big ones, and brought like the anime back from Japan so everyone could watch it. And so these college clubs and anime clubs are actually very important for the scene. I don't know if they're still very important today, like the college ones, but I guess so. But you've also been to Singapore. You said you've been to Singapore. Do you want to talk about that a bit?
Are you interested?
Yeah. Singapore?
So actually, I've been to Singapore about 16 times, and my cousin lives here, and he's a cosplayer. The cosplay community in Singapore is really, really different. It's like the higher caste cosplayers and the cosplayers who only get selfies. And it's really, really strict, and they also have small meetups, but it's not common to go out. So mostly we are just meeting at conventions and don't have small fan meetings like we now here. And it's much more anonymous, so it's not that you just go there and picnic or something like this. Of course they show themselves, but it's not a good image, so they don't really have something like this, and they also don't have so many big conventions. It is mostly just for photo shootings, and yeah, that's more or less all.
So they don't go out in public that much? Like the. Do we have another question? Yep.
My question is, I hope it is not too private. I would like to ask, what does your family and friends think of your cosplays? Do they like them? Do you support? So that's what I wanted to ask.
So my mom actually is counted as my biggest fan. She's actually, we work together in everyday life, and we work in strict business, like suits and costumes, and then we are very business-like. And it's funny when we go to negotiate with a company, and she's like, "Oh, do you know what my daughter is doing?" And look at I'm like, "Mom, I'm not sure they are okay with that." And I was like, "Oh no, look at this! Look!" It's like, "Oh, is this your daughter?" And yes, that's me. "Oh, it's awesome!" Yes. So basically, my family is very accepting with this hobby because they see that it's very creative. And you learn a lot of stuff you wouldn't otherwise. I mean, you learn how to sew, how to make props, how to do your makeup, how to style wigs. You are basically like tons of professions in one person. So you are a hairdresser, you are a tailor, you are a makeup artist, you are an actor, and it's really amazing for them. But I know there are a lot of people in Hungary whose family is very strict, and they don't like when the daughter or son does cosplay because they think it's childish and it's dumb and it's not worth to invest money in. You should do something more serious. So yeah, so I'm pretty lucky that my family is like that, including my mom. My mom is awesome though.
Well, it was a difficult way for both of us because when I started to cosplay, I was in a high school actually, and I was really bad there in managing my time. I'm really bad right now too, so but there I was really bad. So it was normal for me to like, oh, tomorrow is a convention, should I start to sew my costume? Yeah, and because of that it was normal for me to sew like whole night long. Don't do this, it's really bad. And because of this, I was always, really sleepy, and I had black eye.
Like circles under your eyes?
Yeah, and I was like, painting, dyeing my hair. I'm actually like, I have like, this blonde grayish color of hair, like Russian color of hair. And yeah, I'm Russian, do you know? Yeah, really. I started to dye my hair black, and because of this, I looked even more horrible. I looked like a death. And my mom started to think that I'm like, on drugs or something, and she was really against.
Okay? Don't kidding me. Okay, I usually do the same character. Hannah do the okay character. Correct, right? Correct? No mistake. And sometimes we choose the 性格怎么说 character 的性格怎么说 Okay. So for example, of free. Makoto is like very similar with me. Very personality. And Hana is very like Haru. So I do Makoto, Hana do Haru cosplay, like that. Usually anime will have one guy very young one, Sunny, and one guy a little bit 傲娇怎么说？
One is a cool guy and the other a little shy and not the shy one is that you're really
Yes, in Chinese it's called one guy unhappy, one guy stupid. So I usually do the stupid guy, Hana do the unhappy guy.
Do we have like one last question? Anyone who wants to ask the question? Really bad?
I have a question for everyone. So you have a lot of cosplay, I imagine. Are there cosplays you don't wear anymore? And if they are cosplays you don't wear anymore, what do you do with them? Do you sell them? Do you just have them around? Or yeah.
Question for everyone or just for everyone? Okay. So what do you do with your old costumes? Do you sell them or do you keep them?
I keep all my cosplays at my place or the place of my family because I think they are not worth selling because I think they are not so good that other people would like to wear them. And the really old ones who are broken or other stuff, I throw them away or burning them, something like that. But really, I burnt them. It's the quickest way, I'm sorry. Some bad memories and they already have some broken part or fabric was the color took it away, something like that, so I couldn't sell them anymore or something. So I just burned them, so over and out. And yes, most of my costumes, I still have them. I think I will not wear them again, but I have a lot of positive memories with them and I can't break it over my heart to sell them, to give them away. I really love them all.
So yeah, actually I have a very small apartment and I need a lot of place for my penguins. This is Gensler's place for cosplay. And so I started to put all my stuff to my mother's place. Yeah. But if I really think I want to wear the cosplays again, I mostly throw them just away because my costumes in one day, so you can imagine that it's not that good. And I feel it kind of awkward to see other people running around in my cosplay. Sometimes people are writing me, can I buy this costume? And I say, yeah, of course, it's not a problem. But then I see them, it's like, you look so much better than me in this cosplay. But yeah, people told me I should start selling them. I'm still not sure, but yeah, I think I will continuing just throwing them away or just, put them anywhere else at my mama's place,
In the past, when we were students, don't have so many money, so sometimes we will sell some old costumes to other cosplayers. But now we already have company and also big house and have a room just for the costumes and wings like that. So, but a little bit mess. Yes, always cannot find the costume. So when before go to other country, I need to spend a long time to pick up the luggage. Yes, that's all.
I usually make cosplay out of the beloved character, and that's why sell my only 5 or 10 of my old costumes for characters that I don't really that I love not so much, you know. I don't know. I kept all my costume in my apartment. Actually, I have a really small apartment. So in Russia, it worked like this. We usually in Russia, everybody lives in apartments. We don't have houses. So in Russia, it works like this. Oh my God, free space, cosplay there, cosplay there. So we have a lot of cosplay around our apartment, and just in the middle, I have a bed, so I can sleep around all the costumes. I sell once my costume, and it was a really funny story because the girl who bought it, then she sold it to another girl in a different city, and then another girl, another girl, another girl, and I was like, oh my God, my pink CL dress traveled more time than me. So in the end, I found it in the middle of Siberia, and. Yeah, it's if you don't know, Russia is quite big, and Siberia is really far away from me, and I was like, whoa, good job, dress. Keep it, make it to Vladivostok. Yeah.
I usually, right now I have most of my costumes from the last 5 or 6 years. Before that, I just threw them away because most cosplayers are not my size, so they wouldn't even be interested in buying them, I think. I have a pretty unique taste when it comes to cosplaying, so I don't know if anyone would be interested, but to tell you the truth, and I will never deny it, I'm not that great at sewing, and I don't think that my costumes are worth selling. Yes, you can. I can make you a beard, yes, if you really want. So I'm proud of my props and my beards, of course. But my clothes are not that great, unfortunately. So as long as I can wear them, I will store them. But as they are pretty big, they take up a lot of space. So I have a wardrobe only for the clothes, and it's completely full. And when I open the door, it just falls out, everything. It's like, hey, a lot of clothes. And sometimes I recycle them. I take them apart and reuse the fabric, or just burn. Yeah, I give I sacrifice them to the cosplay gods. It's like make me better, make me a better cosplayer. Yes. So basically, I store my costumes in the luggage, in the wardrobe. It's really funny, actually. I have a Beppo costume from One Piece. If you don't know, he is a polar bear with a really big head, and I made that head out of expanding foam. So it's stiff. You can't fold it. It's like this big head. And it's funny, when I open the upper door of my wardrobe, he's just there staring at me like... It was really creepy when one time he just fell out. It's like a beer head rolling on the floor. Oh my God. So yeah, funny stories.
I would like to ask you to just maybe tell us a little bit about the panels that you will be teaching this weekend. I have the timetable here. If you don't know the times, that's no problem. I can tell people the time, but maybe you could just tell us a little what kind of panels you will be teaching this weekend. So if anyone likes to see you at the panels, or maybe just the signing sessions. Just maybe tell us a little about that.
Okay, so I don't know the time. I know my workshop is on Sunday, in the afternoon, obviously. I will hold a workshop about beards, once again, obviously. But if you are you don't really want to cosplay guys like me, I mean, these techniques are not only used for beards. For example, I will talk about hair knotting or ventilating a wig. It's like it is used for lace front wigs. When you have to tie the hair one by one, it's a really good thing to do.
You can also use it for tails, right? You can
Of course.
use it for animal tails.
Well, tomorrow I will wear a different costume, and you will see that this is, as I said before, this is yarn. And yarn is pretty useful for me because I pretty much can make any kind of hair texture. And tomorrow I have a sultan costume from Aladdin, Disney's Aladdin. And he has a feather here, which I made out of yarn also. That is not a real feather, because I'm a cheap-ass cosplayer. I don't like to spend money.
Morgen um 14:45 Uhr im Seminarraum 5, die Welt der Werte.
I will be holding panel also on Sunday, and my panel is more like, friends talk. I want to talk with all of you about how to survive in cosplay, because cosplay is for fun, and I really want to share with you some tips to be, to have fun on a convention and not to be tired and all this stuff. So I want you to really enjoy the convention, and on Sunday I will share with you my tips how to do this. So I will be really happy to see all of you there. Thank you.
Surviving in Cosplay um 12:15 Uhr im kleinen Saal, also hier.
Okay, our workshop is this afternoon. It's today, and Hannah will teach you. Okay, us will teach you. Us will teach you. We will teach you the Kotori makeup from Love Live. And what's wrong? It's a little bit challenging due to the Asia face is a little bit different with yes. Just say this afternoon. We will try our best.
18:45 Uhr heute Abend auch hier im kleinen Saal.
Okay, ich mache das jetzt mal auf Deutsch. Ne? I'm sorry. Ja, wir werden heute um 15:45 Uhr, 15:15 im Seminarbereich, Seminarraum 5, ein kleines Panel dazu halten, der Unterschied zwischen Cosplay hier in Deutschland gegenüber Japan, und werden euch dann ein bisschen was erzählen, wie die Cosplay-Szene dort ist, wie deren Veranstaltungen dort sind, und auch gerne noch ein bisschen kurz was zum WCS erzählen, als wir dort waren. Wir würden uns freuen, wenn ihr reinkommt, und ja, anschließend auch gerne Fragen noch stellen, ist gar kein Problem dort.
Und ich habe heute Abend auch noch ein Konzert um 19:30 Uhr, also ich zeige euch den Workshop Shiro tanzt ganz komisch und versucht zu singen. Ich würde mich freuen, wenn ihr vorbeischaut, wenn ihr einfach mal nur dort sitzen wollt und denkt, hat jeder mal kurz ein Wort. Ja, wirklich. Ich würde mich freuen, wenn ihr vorbeischaut.
Maybe we can have a group photo, everyone. So if any one of you would like to take a photo of the guests, is that okay with you? Just up here.